When Calls the Heart fans upset Hallmark series did not mention WBV1. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up in When Calls the Heart Season 12. Hearties may have been surprised at the seriousness of little Jack's diabetes storyline. Coupled with the lack of local medical care, Elizabeth, Jack, Nathan, and Allie had to leave their comfortable life in Hope Valley for Cape Fullerton. This is where the little boy's grandmother lives, as well as a top place for diabetes treatment. However, it appears that many Hearties wish that the Hallmark writers would include more serious history in the series. That includes their wish for more acknowledgement of World War, also known as the Great War. Here is what they had to say. Do When Calls the Heart fans want some reality mashed up with their comfort watch? This Hearty certainly does. I understand that this show is historically accuracy light. However, ignoring World War I and replacing it with a Northern Territory squabble or debacle was one of the most disrespectful things ever. They continued with the suggestion, even if you water it down to just newspaper mentions by the characters and not show any action, you can get the message across. To gloss over it like it never happened is very disrespectful. They continue with criticism of the show's co-creator Brian Bird and how they have been ignoring a huge part of history. In addition, they shared their family's contribution to the war, including the infantry ski division. Next, they added, plus given Canada's rich contribution to World War I compared to the Yanks who came in at the 11th hour. It was just such a letdown, was they could have shown the world how Canada played a part in it. I am surprised not one of the Canadian actors spoke up. They finished this post with their own frustration with the series. I'm not sure why this is such a delayed reaction, but it has bothered me. I should have quit the show then and there. Ashamed to know the writers value stupid love triangles that bait the viewers rather than telling a small truth of world history. The summation showed frustrations with the series and the overdone Lucas, Elizabeth, and Nathan love triangle that has permanently fractured Hearties. But what was the response to this post about the Hallmark series being disrespectful? A Hearty posted a heartfelt missive on her disappointment that the Hallmark series When Calls the Heart did not include any reference or even acknowledgement of World War, also known as the Great War. What did other Hearties have to say? Bird misses opportunities left and right constantly. I get the Northern Territory storyline, but they also could have had a WW1 storyline after that. It didn't have to be big like you say. None of us watching the show are expecting violence or gore. This is merely a matter of incorporating history. The whole "it's the 1920s now" is just blame because they never showed interest in history before. They are only interesting in making note of the 1920s because it is a fun decade. Hallmark also keeps things light and fluffy. That's a factor too. The network has a say and Hallmark rarely gets ritzy or any conflict or bad things. It's all happy endings and misunderstandings. The Magic of Ordinary Days and The Lost Valentine are two Hallmark films that absolutely delve into World War II. You expect historical accuracy and respect from a Hallmark show. Please don't be so naive. Everything about this network is unrealistic and disrespectful to logic, let alone a world war. This topic certainly garnered some discussion that went both ways about this issue. Some Hearties didn't think including references or a storyline related to Vuadol was in Hallmark's wheelhouse, while another fan pointed out two very well-known classic movies that had to do with World War II. All in all, the most confusion was why the When Calls the Heart writers skipped over the Great War and the Spanish flu worldwide epidemic, but decided to embrace the 1920s. But there was no mention of little Jack's diabetes and the grim mortality realities of that time. When Calls the Heart fans can watch the complete 12 seasons of the series on Hallmark 1+. Hearties, would you like When Calls the Heart to share more storylines that includes some of the serious events of the era? Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, General Hospital Update, and stay with us.